everybody, this is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo, and today we're going to learn how to make these guitar string wire wrapped bracelets with a charm. The first thing you need are your guitar strings, and you need to make sure they are cleaned. I have a video on how to do that. I will put a link for you to go look at that. But after you get it cleaned up and the little squiggly things cut off by using a memory wire cutter, not this. This is a no-no. You will ruin them. They don't cut this hard of a wire very well, and they get nicked and dulled, and they're not good. So you want to use the memory wire cutters for that. Also, personally, I like to keep the end bead on. I think it adds to the look of the bracelet, but there are a lot of people who do not like that on there, or they would rather cut it off and use it, thread it onto the string as a bead. So if that's your choice, if you don't want it on this way, you can cut it off. I'm going to leave mine. You need a charm. I'm going to use a flamingo for this one. You need a split ring to put onto your charm, and 7mm I have found is the easiest to work with. In order to get the split ring onto your charm, you use this tool here. It splits the split ring like so, and then that way you can thread your charm onto the split ring. I like to use split rings for my charms because the charms will stay onto your piece of jewelry a lot better. If you just use jump rings, you run the risk of the jump rings opening up and losing your charm. So that's why I like to use the split rings. And of course you're going to need wire. I have chosen to use pink. 20 gauge is to me the best. And as far as your other tools, you will need a flat nose plier. If you like to use bent nose, you can use those, but I like to use the flat nose. All right, so the first thing you do is you take your guitar string, and this one here has a little bit, I didn't really cut it off as much as I should have, so I'm going to go ahead and trim it off a little bit there. There we go. And you're going to take your charm and you're going to thread it onto your guitar string. Now by using those split rings too, your charm dangles a lot better. If you don't put it onto a split ring like that, it stiffens and it's not going to dangle nicely. Okay, so the next step is like step one of tying a shoe. Just tie it like that, just the first part. And you tighten it as tight as you need it to be, measuring over your hand to make sure you can get it over your hand. Now, you can tighten it a little bit more, and just remember, your bracelet does have some give to it. I wouldn't push on it too much, but when you're putting it on, you can kind of smash it just a tad to get it over your fist. Okay, once you've figured out, I'm going to tighten it just a little bit more, how tight you want it. You need to hold on to that because it does tend to slip. And then you are just going to thread your wire like so. Once you get to your charm, you want to thread that through there like that. And just continue. Sorry, I got out of the camera there. Continue to thread through like so. Again. Threading through the split ring. And then the other side until you have ran out of wire. Put that there like that. All right. these will wind up in different areas depending on how much string you have. And you are going to want to take your wire that you have and tuck them in. Now, if you look at this one, I did not go all the way around. If you want to go all the way around, you can. I like this because it's a little interesting. It gives it a little bit more personality, in my opinion. But I have about 2 feet of wire here, and I usually like to find the middle by just bending it in half, and then I thread it through like this, finding the center, and then I'm going to wrap. Start wrapping, and you wrap tight, okay? And I work one side at a time. Just wrapping like so. Just around. Once I get to this part, you want to catch it in there. And that holds it down. And I go a little bit beyond, at least once, sometimes twice. I'm going to go twice because I have quite a bit of wire here. Okay. Then I'm going to go back. And when I do so, I like to cross over, kind of make an X. So I'm crossing over. And this is just random. One thing about these, this is handmade, and so no two are going to be exactly alike. When I get to this part, I'm going to go around it. Okay. Now I'm going to quit right here, and I'm going to go over to the other side because I need to catch this guy. And there's going to be a little different here, different technique once I get here. So I need to wrap. Once I get to this end, you do not want this poking you. And so I'll kind of go a little bit beyond. See how it's sticking out there? That's okay for now because you're going to hide it in a minute. Go a little bit, like one more beyond. Then you're going to go back around. Now, at this point, if you wanted to go all the way around, you could. I am not. I may go one more time here. Okay, so I'm going to go back like I showed you before. And once I get to this guy here that's poking out, I'm going to wrap several times. I want to actually hide that. I don't want to be able to see it or feel it. And as I wrap, I feel to make sure it's not there anymore. And it's not going to scratch me. It's not going to fall out. And then I continue wrapping around till I get to the end of my wire. See, I'm running out of wire here. One more time around. Okay. Again, we have something that's sticking out here. This is where you can either use your bent nose or your flat nose pliers, and you're going to tuck it in. I kind of like to pull it tight and then tuck it in. And then again, I feel. And I can feel that right now, but I'm going to come back to that because I've got to finish wrapping this. And it looks like that I can actually meet these two together, which that's my goal, is to meet them together. And then I can hide both ends. So let me wrap here. And the end was right here. So I'm right there. So I'm going to cut this off. And again, I have that sticking up and have that sticking up. So I want to tuck them in so they're not going to scratch the person wearing this. And I just squeeze. And see, that one I can't feel at all. This one I still can. Where did it go? Okay. I guess I can't. They are both tucked in, ready to go. We've got our bracelet done. Doesn't that look cool? You can stack them. And one idea that I would like to share with you that I'm doing with these. This actually is one without a charm. I am going to be the craft expert at our church young women's camp momentarily in a couple of weeks here. And we are actually going to make these with the sun. The sun goes with our theme really well, and I'm going to teach them how to make these guitar string bracelets. So I encourage you to share this idea with others so that they can learn how to make these. They're fun, easy to wear, and a good conversation piece. Hope you all have a wonderful day. This is the Tapping Flamingo signing out for now.